Hey guys and gals, a little different video today. A video I would hope I would never have to make or ever make again. It was pretty scary. I'm sure you can tell by the title. We had a little bit of a problem out here yesterday. We had a brush fire. I had read about the potential for four-wheelers to cause a brush fire. Never thought too much of it because I've never experienced it, never heard anybody say they've experienced it, anything like that. But I'll definitely be more cautious of it now, and I thought I'd make a video if I can help somebody else out. I'm going to show you I'm going to show you what I think happened. Then I'll show you how much area actually burnt. And we were able to call the fire department and get some help up here. My wife and I worked pretty hard to try to get it out, but the wind was blowing like it was today, and it wasn't even this strong really. It was a little less than this, and it just took off on me. Burnt my feet a little bit, got some burns on my legs, nothing major, nothing too bad. But yeah, let me just jump right into this and tell you what happened. So yesterday I came up here and I wasn't going to stop in the field. But I came up and there was a piece of plastic laying in the middle of my field. So I stopped, and if you look here, let me see, this kind of tall, it's super dry. You can hear it crunching in my feet. And I parked over in something like this. Okay, I have a path right here. It's all matted down. Why I didn't park there, I guess the piece of plastic was laying over there. So I just pulled over there and grabbed it. And then I pulled off down to my feeder, didn't think anything of it, pulled off. I guess the four-wheeler was off. Started it back up and pulled down to my feeder and moved my feeder. It was still muddy where it was sitting. I wanted to get my feeder out of that mud. So I moved my feeder over, and it was just a couple minutes, turned around to leave, get back on my four-wheeler, which was still running at the time, and I had about a 4 foot by 8 foot swath of fire going down through my field here. I'm gonna turn around here, you can see what's going on here, what happened. So as you can see, maybe I can zoom in a little bit right up here is about where the fire started. I remember pulling over into this area right here and picked up a piece of plastic, and then I pulled down there, so 35, 40 yards away, moved the feeder, jumped back on the four-wheeler, looked back, and the fire was already burning. I guess it was up here. It looks more burnt up here. And it just started going this way. You can see how dark it is. It burnt really quickly. It jumped my four-wheeler path. You can still see the four-wheeler path. It jumped completely over that four-wheeler path. And you can see the mud spot up there. That's where it didn't burn. But I'm going to go ahead and walk this perimeter just to show you the extent. I mean, this all happened, I would say, within 30 to 40 minutes. The whole field just lit up, okay? This was covered with weeds, a bunch of old firewood, pallets. I started really getting worried. I was down here on my hands and knees. The fire was up here. I was on my hands and knees scraping this hillside, trying to scrape all this dry grass away. It jumped right over this and went over here. It's amazing how it works. I've dealt with fires before, but never a brush fire. How that didn't burn, I have no idea. It started to go into all these old dead trees. Started to burn this tree. Down there into the woods going. So we'll just keep on walking around here. I don't know if my apple tree made it or not up here. Probably not. I don't see the protective barrier around it, so it's probably died, or it's going to die. It stinks. How long here? I mean, this whole hillside here. I hope I'm not moving around too much for you guys. That apple tree's already dead. The one apple tree I had alive, it looks like it got burned up. I'll go check it out here in a minute. Old tree stand fell down. And we'll keep walking. So Again, I don't know how some of this stuff doesn't burn, but yet some of it does. When it got down to the woods, it actually slowed up. The leaves slowed it down a little bit. The grass just took off, but the leaves burnt a little slower. So we're getting into the woods. It was about that time I called 911 because I knew I was in trouble when it got to the woods. But my wife and I had all this out. We got this all out. It was basically, I'll show you up here, when the fire crew showed up. I mean, I'm thankful that they were here and helped, because I was getting over COVID. My wife's getting over COVID. We were exhausted. Lungs still aren't quite right. You can see how it burned around those trees down there. I didn't want this video to be real long, but I wanted to show you what all happened up and through here. All this burnt, everything up and through there. I'm surprised this didn't take off. All these dried brambles. And we've got cuts all over our bodies. I mean, you can see my arm, if you can see that stuff or not, but all over my face. I had blood running on my face. Cuts on my arms and legs. I got a burn on my leg. I had it burn up through there. Previous owner left us a hubcap, looks like. Here's a tree that really had me concerned. It was a live tree. It was scrub pine. And what happens with these bad boys is they'll burn, and you can see what happened. It starts to burn inside the tree, and you may spray it down and think that tree is out, but it'll burn the whole center of that tree out, falls over, blows sparks everywhere, and you're in trouble. So you can see, and the wind was blowing this way, which is why down there's where we started. 4-wheeler way down there. I'm guessing this is probably a good 2 acres, maybe more, that burnt. A scattered burn, you know. But this tree had me worried. I was standing right here, and I already fought all this off up in here. You can see the firefighters knocked these trees down to make sure they were out and busted them up. But I mean, it goes the whole way up in there. I can walk up in here again. Wasn't gonna harp on this too much, but I just wanted to see you see how far this actually went. I mean, this part here was longer than half an hour, but I mean, it's all the way down through there going. Let me get back out of here. You get the idea. I can still smell it. Smells like campfire. Well, not smoke. It should smell like soot now. All that. The bad thing this time of year, these pine trees are sucking up all the sap now, and you get a lot of fat wood in these trees, which is just real heavy sap laden wood. And this thing was just sparking out. I mean, look at that. You can see the sap. There's no heat coming off that. Just making sure. No, it's okay. It's cold. It was warm today, but it's still cold. But anyways, we'll walk down here. Yeah, I think my apple tree is dead. We'll see how it makes out this spring. Anyways, keep walking. Ow, briar on my leg. Didn't kill all the briars, did it? I got a lot of dead stuff I cut up. Trees fall in my field and I throw them out of here. It's amazing how it didn't burn the trampled down four-wheeler deer path. Look at that. You can clearly see the deer path right there. It's all packed down. It didn't burn that at all. But it burnt down to the woods over here. Started going down the hill. Our pond's down there. Made it probably halfway down that hill. I'm not going to walk down that hill. My legs are beat up from yesterday. I'm not walking through more briars. We'll just keep walking around here. But yeah, I was pretty beat up yesterday. I mean, just completely exhausted. I felt like I was going to pass out a few times. I don't know if that was from the getting smoke in my lungs, or just the fact that my lungs aren't working very well since having COVID anyways. So yeah, this all happened. Either my spark arrestor's fine. I checked the spark arrestor today before I brought the four-wheeler out. And it's fine. So what I'm thinking happened is I parked in a big clump of grass, and it was up next to, they cut those trees down too, good, up next to my engine or exhaust, something like that, and it sat there and smoldered, and when I pulled away it fell down. It didn't go down the woods this way. Right here it did a little bit, and that's what caught it on fire. That's all I can think of. I mean, I wasn't here more than a few minutes, stopped, got that piece of plastic, threw it in the back of the four-wheeler, went to my feeder, turned around, and we had a lovely time. So, yeah, be real careful out there. My wife said she came over the hill, she was walking the dog up over the hill up there, and she thought, 'cause let me first say this, I have never intentionally done a controlled burn. I've thought about it, I've wanted to, never did it, and that's why. Number one, it was windy yesterday. I'm not going to touch open flames in wind. I won't burn trash in wind. In a container, I won't, nothing. Unless, of course, you're in a good area, not in a field. Heck no. You know what I'm saying. Two, I would not have done this big of a burn if I would have done it. I'm not doing it. But I would have rototilled the outside edges probably a good 5-6 feet. And I would have had water up here, I would have had tools up here, I would have had everything I could think of, and I wouldn't have been by myself. So my wife thought I was doing a controlled burn, and she thought, no, he wouldn't do that. He doesn't have it cleared away, he doesn't have the tools, doesn't have what. Yeah, I wouldn't have done it. I've never done it. Like I said, I thought about it, and I probably will never do it now, that's for sure. It was pretty scary, guys. To just keep that in mind when you're out and about in your four-wheelers and you're driving through a field, especially in spring, early spring. This grass has been dead late fall, early winter. Winters are dry, grass dries out quickly, and it's still standing up. So it can, if your spark arrestor is messed up, your four-wheeler can throw sparks. Mine is not messed up, I just checked it. It's clean. Well, it was clean now, it wasn't clogged, it was sooty. So the only thing I can think of is it got up in here in the engine block or on the exhaust, and the exhaust was hot, and started that fire. That's all I can think of. I don't know what else would have happened. Nothing else would have sparked. If you guys got ideas, throw them at me. I got an Eiger 400. I've had it for 12 years, never had any issues like this before, ever. Of course, I don't drive. I usually don't park in the tall grass. Maybe that was my dumbass fault, excuse the language. But yeah, we had it about my wife and I had it about 85% contained when they showed up, but still, at that point I was exhausted and hot spots kept popping up. They showed up, I guess about 10 or 12 of them showed up, and the poor guys and gals also showed up. I think it was about 9 or 10 guys, and about 3 or 4 women showed up. Had to walk up my driveway, most of them, then walk up here to get to this field. And they did a good job. I mean, they really did. I sat in the four-wheeler, my feet were blistered and hot. I had burns on my legs. Still do, of course. It just happened last night. And this video is getting longer than I thought. But, you know. And they had the tools. They had backpacks with water. My neighbor showed up. He's with the fire company too. He had more water. And they put all the hot spots out. We had some trees back in here burning still, just smoldering. And it's really windy today. Glad this didn't happen yesterday or today. Had a tree over here smoldering, that big one was still smoldering, a couple of little hot spots down there. Just most of the leaves, my wife did a lot of it because I was running back and forth with water and stuff, and it was just scary. I mean, it was scary, I'm not gonna lie. I just kept thinking, I can't contain this, I can't contain this. Kept trying, called 911, and why I waited that long, I don't know. It wasn't male ego or just ego in general. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, I wanted to get it out. And when I saw those trees catching, I thought, nope, this is beyond me now. I don't have enough water. I don't have enough manpower. Sorry, you know what I mean? I don't have enough in general. I was spent myself. So anyways, we'll cut this video short. But yeah, they said this was their third brush fire this spring already. So, and a couple of them, they don't know how they happened. You never know. You know, people that smoke, I mean, I don't care if you smoke, please don't throw your cigarette out the window. It doesn't take much at all, obviously. A four-wheeler can do it. So, well, I've got some wood to haul, and I've got a tree to cut down. So I'm gonna go get busy. Yeah, I have water with me today and a pump, so in case anything happens, I'm gonna spray on it. But I checked my four-wheeler. The spark arrestor is good. We're good to go. So that was my little story. I'm happy to get out of the house today. We've got roofers on the roof, replacing our roof finally. So I'll show you that maybe one of these days when they're all done. I'm not gonna bug them. So hey guys and gals, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Take that tip from me. Word of caution. Just be real careful. Don't drive through tall grass like my dumb ass did. Well, actually, I just parked in it and picked up some trash. So thanks for watching. Talk to you later. See ya. Bye.